Hello everybody, my name is Walter and this is episode 56 of my Redstone Commands Series. In this episode I want to cover a command that can be very useful when you're working with multiple interdependent data packs, and that is the Datapack command. Now this command allows you to control the loading and unloading of data packs, including the loading order, which can have an influence on the behavior of interdependent data packs. A possible scenario is if you have a data pack you provide everyone, which implements the basic functionality, then you have an add-on for your patrons or channel members that adds to that functionality. Now, to avoid unnecessary bloat and lag, you would usually reuse parts of the functionality of the main data pack in the add-on data pack. Now, depending on which one is loaded first, you may get lag or unexpected behavior, and that is where this command here comes into play. I will show an example a bit later. But first, let's start with the basic syntax for this command, which allows you to do three things. You can list data packs, you can disable them, and you can enable them. Let's start with listing them. So, as usual, you start with the name of the command in Datapack, then the keyword list. And if you stop there, it's context specific. So depending on the situation, you may get a list of all of the still available, so not yet enabled data packs, or a list of all data packs, or you may get just a message that there are no more available data packs. As I said, this is context specific. If you want to make sure, you can continue with either available, which lists all the data packs that have, for example, since the last reload, been added to the Datapack folder. Or you can use the enabled keyword, which allows you to list only the currently available data packs. Next up, if you want to disable a data pack, you use Datapack and then the keyword disable. And then you need to specify the data pack. And here you need to use this as a string, so with the quotation marks, and then file / and then the name of the data pack itself. To enable the data pack, same structure, just instead of disable, use enable. And that's already the entire secret for the basic syntax. Now, when it comes to enabling, there is also the option to change the update order or the loading order. So you start again with Datapack, enable, and then the name of the datapack. So file datapack1, for example. And then you can do four things. You can use first. This datapack will be loaded first and will have subsequently the lowest priority when you have overlapping namespaces, which means if multiple datapacks use the same namespace with the same function in them, then the datapack that is loaded last will be used if you call that specific function. So this allows you also to directly override the functionality of a previously ordered datapack in a sense. But as I said, when you're loading first, this has the lowest priority. You can also load last, which then has the highest priority. You can also use before or after to get a lower or higher priority than a specific other datapack, which you also need to name following that in quotation marks, file / and then the name of the datapack. And now it's time for the example I prepared beforehand. So what I have are two datapacks. Datapack 1 will set a specific score to 1 each game tick, and Datapack 2 will add to that score 1 each game tick. So first of all, to show you this in action, I'm actually going to create the scoreboard objective that's going to be used. And I'm also going to set this in the display on the right side here. Now, as you can see, the current result is 2, which you would expect. First it sets to 1, and then 1 is added. And that happens every game tick, so we have a constant 2 essentially in there. So no real surprise there. Now it gets a bit more interesting. First, let's start with disabling Datapack 2. And now we only have 1 as a result because the increment no longer happens. So no real surprise there. Now I can also show you the effects of list. So currently I have 4 datapacks enabled and I have 1 datapack disabled or available. Available can also be a datapack that was added into the datapacks folder or renamed in the datapacks folder since the last reload. So if you want to activate a datapack, you don't actually need to make a reload. You can also use the datapack command for that. But you will see this in a moment anyway. Now, let's quickly have a look what we can see here. So we have currently 4 datapacks available or enabled. The vanilla datapack, which is built in. If you disable this, some of the functionality like mob drops and similar will no longer work. Then I have my main menu, I have my paintbrush, and I have the Datapack 1, which is actually more interesting right now, and I have currently available, so disabled, Datapack 2. And you can see in the brackets here, those are datapacks for the world, so they are found in the save game itself, in the corresponding folder. If I just want the available, you can see I just get Datapack 2, and if I want to have the enabled, I get the 4 other. So no real surprise there. Now, let's make one change. Currently I have Datapack 2 disabled, and I could just enable it, or I could enable it before Datapack 1. And I'm just going to do this, and you don't see an actual result here, because we are first incrementing, then we are resetting to 1, and then nothing happens. Now I can again disable Datapack 1, and it starts to count up again, since, well, now it's no longer resetting, but still incrementing. No real surprise there. Now, Datapack 1 is disabled. I can enable it again, and let's enable it in the proper order again, and we're back to the result of 2. So as you can see with this here, you can control the order of the datapacks, which when they are interdependent, so working on the same variables, for example, can be quite useful. And with that, we've reached the end of this episode about the Datapack. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you a nice day, and well, see you.